How's it going, everyone? We're here. Welcome to Heliopolis Radio. Today, we've been fortunate to be joined by Kelvin Green. He's got over 20 years of experience in the IT and cybersecurity space. He's consulted for big corporates such as DHS, so he has a lot of insight into, I guess, the technological aspect of what kind of runs, not just the mechanisms behind companies, but perhaps our society as a whole for the most part. He's also an advocate for mental health, which is probably more important now than ever in the society we're living in. Without further ado, hand it over to you, Kelvin. Tell us about yourself and what is it that you love to do?
Yep. So thank you for having me, Masar. Basically, me in a nutshell, I'm a fix-it guy. So I've been a fix-it guy my whole life. And right now it's just dedicated towards cybersecurity. So I got into the IT space with break, fix, two things. And it's like a while, I'm like, man, you know what? This is too much. And then I went to cybersecurity, in which case, I got swayed into that based on money. I'll be honest with you.
Mm.
But I love it because I feel like I'm helping people. Like like you're a superhero. Like, hey, if I help keep you secure, it's when Batman was out there and you're getting robbed, and he comes up there and he smacks the guy and he saves you and gets your purse back. Well, you essentially feel like Batman in that sense without being out on the street. So
Right. Yeah, the safety part definitely for sure. And I guess maybe since you've been in this space for quite some time now, I guess how have you seen the evolution of technology over the last, give us 20 years or so? How, from when you were coming up, learning, obviously being a student and then shifting into the workspace and seeing how technology has taken such a strong presence in our lives. Maybe with your level of experience now, and how has that experience been? Or what has it been like just to see the shift from society, how we used to do things with our flip phones? To everything. It's been in such a short space of time. I really feel like maybe people don't appreciate just how fast it's been. So I guess I'd extend that question to you.
I give you the nasty, dirty truth on that. Um, have you ever seen any shows like Tales from the Crypt, or any movies where you get a genie and Aladdin and you get three wishes? Um,
Yeah.
just think about technologies being those three wishes, and we got better at asking for bigger and better things because the more we understood, the more we knew, the more we asked for. Well, here's what I'll say. You indicated the fact that I'm interested in mental health, and
Yeah.
I'll attach mental health to technology. Got everything at your fingertips today. Yet people are more messed up than they've ever been. So I'm gonna say, yeah, it's moving really fast, so fast that it's messing us up. So yay, technology. There you go. So I say yay, yay. I say that to you because you and I are connected across the world right now. Like the great things about technology is that me and you, how fast it's evolving. My wife and I, we met 27 years ago online. We were actually on the internet back when you were typing things, and if you wanted to download a picture, it might take you an hour. And it was small and grainy. And well, I can sit here and I can tell you, well, back in my day, I said to my son, he's like, back in your day, Dad. Well, yeah, technology was really crummy. But today, you can go online and right now I can talk to people everywhere at my fingertips on my phone. And so I say it has moved so fast, giving us so much capabilities. What we do with it, I'll leave it at that.
Sorry about that phone notification there. I apologize. Stupid technology. I didn't even put this on mute. My bad. Apologies. But no, I hear you, and obviously, you've got more time in this game of life than me. So for you, it's definitely more. I kind of came in as that Apex was starting to kind of pick up. So I'm part of. I want to call it the last generation, but I guess the weird generation, if I could use that word. We're kind of weird because we're so socially awkward because of technology. Even just becoming a podcaster, it took a lot of mental work to be able to have a conversation with people. When you can just text, so you can, technology has kind of taken away the need for like a lot of our human skills for the most part because it's doing everything for us. And so would I guess I was gonna ask, is this what you had envisioned, growing up for yourself? Is this what, because we all used to watch, like, I know watching cartoons growing up, I'd see things like the Jetsons and they'd have little hover cars and everything. I mean, every generation has a vision of the future and they never know. So what we have today, from you growing up, was this what you'd really envisioned? Is there some highlights to it, or is it maybe a disappointment in how far we've come? I guess maybe I should ask that.
Oh no, that's a good question. So I'm gonna say that I'm like you in the sense that my vision was dictated a lot by the media, right? Oh, like I was looking at Star Trek, you're looking at Star Wars, you're like, oh man, we get a lightsaber, we gonna get in a spaceship, you Back to the Future, yo, we gonna have cars that's flying, and we gonna go back in time, right? Just as Rosie the robot, we got them robots, but yeah. So we're the same in that sense. So yeah, I mean, because you look at it and you say, "Ooh, this is nice," and so then you want that. So you have that. So yeah.
And I guess in terms of like privacy and security, because this is where the controversial thing comes in, and you work in the space. So in today's society, do you believe we can honestly say something as like, cybersecurity exists in the sense that we have privacy over our lives based on the way technology works? And I mean, I've spoken to people who work in a similar space to you, and the first thing they'll say is you really have no privacy for the most part because you need the technology, and the people that make the technology have to work within legislation and law. So they can say that they can, guarantee you privacy, but it's more of a marketing tool than the actual truth behind it.
Okay. We both got on headphones. Why you think we both bought the headphones we bought? Because they marketed to us, because they understood us. You and I dress alike. Why you think that is? We're across the world. That means they share that information with us.
Hmm.
How safe are we? Well, let me just say this right now. We're across the map. You're in Johannesburg, South Africa. I haven't been there yet on my plans to do that. But with that being said,
Hmm.
even before I go there, I know you. I know your podcast. I know what you do. As a matter of fact, I can look at all your podcasts and I can learn a lot about you.
Hmm.
But you know that I can use your image and your voice, and I can fake being you to somebody in South Africa without ever being there because it's all there. So
Hmm.
all we say, no, we're giving technology all of our information. By me talking to you, I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm reciprocating.
Hmm.
So all of our information, more than has ever been out there, is out there. I told my wife, I said, in America, we have a social security number,
Hmm.
and it's supposed to be private. It's the number that stays with you for your whole life.
Hmm.
But if they say, here's a giveaway on the plane that if you signed your name right now to get a credit card for some extra flight miles,
Hmm.
put your social security number here. I said, you will sign it, and you'll see a whole bunch of people sign it and hand this piece of paper with their social security number that's supposed to be so private right up to the flight attendant. And I said, do you think that person is FBI trained and they know how to keep sensitive information, and they basically so highly played they had no reason to steal your information? And
Hmm.
she goes, no. And I said, well, what makes you think your information is safe? You made all them passwords. You just literally handed somebody like, here you go. So I'm like, no. So
Hmm.
nothing to say. As long as it exists, it's not safe. You
Wow.
want it to be safe, forget about it.
Wow.
You can't tell nobody.
Do you think that, the more we integrate technology into our lives, the more of our privacy we really have to give up? Especially, we have voice recognition, as you mentioned. You can do banking transactions here just by taking a screenshot with your face. Do you think that if people really wanted this idea of privacy, they would have to kind of live like cavemen again, like go back to, I'm not gonna do things on the phone, I'm gonna, and the way our society is built now, there's no going back. Like you either with it or you are, you're suffering to a certain
Yeah,
degree.
I mean, you hit it on the nail there. So, yes, to get closer to being safe, you gotta. The closer you go back to caveman life, is the closer you're going to get to being safe. Because you sharing information is like if you live in. So think of it about this way: if you live in the town over,
Mm,
everything is private. You know how they used to say, "Hey, Papa was a Rolling Stone. He got up and
mm,
how you need your woman? You got up and you just went to the next town, right?" And so, like,
mm,
I'm not advocating that, by the way. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that's what happened, right? And that's but do that now. You go to the town. We know where you at, right? Like, so
yes.
you got GPS on your phone. So I mean, you in order to gain privacy, you got to give up the benefits that came with losing privacy. So it's a trade off.
Mm,
So will people decide to do it? If you go in the store and they play the music you like and it smells the
mm,
way you like and it looks the way you like, that's because you told them what you like. Don't tell them what you like. You're gonna go in that store and all the walls gonna be white and everything go. I mean, because why would I design it in any different when I have no idea? So you gotta look at it in terms of you have to give them the information to get what you want. When you go in there and they say, hey, please don't send these cookies, they're using the information from that cookies to give you what you want. I'm not telling you whether or not you should click on it or not. I'm not saying it, but understand when you contribute, you get what you want. When you don't contribute, you get what you get. And it is what it is.
And being based in the States, obviously, I know, sorry, the volume might change here and there because of my mic. I'm muting because of the dog. But I guess you live in a place where the social infrastructure is much, much better than a lot of the third world countries where we come from. Do you feel like that a lot of your mental health issues, predominantly, because I mean, mental health is a big problem now, especially now more than ever in our generation. Do you feel in the States it's more predominant just because of the access that people have to technological advancements? I mean, you go down to maybe a third world country where a kid is coming maybe from a rural area, they don't have the pressures that Instagram brings. They don't have the pressure that having a LinkedIn business profile brings. They don't have those mental, I guess, difficulties that, whereas in the States, you want to get a job, you want to do this, you have your image you have to upkeep, you want to flex your new car, you want to join that new course that some entrepreneur is selling, all sorts of nonsense. It's not nonsense, but it does become nonsensical, just the scope. And I mean, the amount of advertising I get just here from South Africa, from businesses that side, I'm just like, it's never ending. It's never ending.
I
It drives you insane. It's like easy access at a level that we've just never had it before. And I'm just wondering that maybe a lot of these, like the depression and, all sorts of things, is it just this constant bombardment of things that we're getting and we just don't have time to filter out what we want and what we don't want?
you already answered it. Yes. I mean, yes. I mean, so look, okay. Let's say you look at yourself as a man, but as a caveman. Don't look at like don't say yourself you're so involved in all this kind of stuff. Take it away, away, take it away, and go back to the basics. What did caveman have to deal with? Stress, anxiety, and some happiness and joy. Meaning, I go out, I go get food, I kill it. If I make it back, yay. If I don't, you won't know. But if you make it back, you bring your family, you survive, and you reproduce and you live on, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Today we're like, oh man, but doing like, hey Kelvin, I'm getting ready. Like, hey Kelvin, how your fingernails look? What? like you like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I gotta go get the food. I gotta go make the money. I gotta go do this, and I gotta worry how my fingernails look too. What? I mean, so I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's too much. So we're telling the kids it's too, and then we're giving them unrealistic lifestyles. We're like, you're looking at Instagram and it's like, oh, everybody got $1 million and they living so good. Everybody don't got $1 million. Don't nobody living like that. But you feel me? Like they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's the middle of the day, we having fun. And I tell like I tell people I have this theory called the Drake theory. None
Yeah.
against Drake, but it's
Yeah.
called the Drake theory because it was this one picture of Drake that I kept seeing. It kept showing up on my YouTube and things, right? And he's standing outside and he has a dog. And he's in the morning time. And he has this big old house behind him with all these lights on. And I said, I wonder how many young people look at that and say, man, that's how I want to live. And I
Yeah.
said, well, in reality, that guy standing outside at 4 o'clock in the morning with a dog that ain't his, with a whole bunch of lights on in a place that he ain't by himself because he ain't never been in none of them rooms in the last 3 years. And somebody standing out there saying, I could put makeup on him saying, take a picture. So when you think he's living this good life, like his life is so good, in
Mm.
reality, he's out there for a photo shoot at 4 a.m. He's not living the life that you're
Mm.
imagining. He's at a photo shoot. But,
It's all smoke and
but
mirrors. All smoke
yeah,
and mirrors, man. And it's funny that you just mentioned it because I mean I'm not here to politically engage in anything, but how social media, everyone is just so comfortable. They have a feeling of power on technology that they wouldn't display in person. And I'm not trying to call out Elon Musk on this one or anything because I don't follow it, but it's funny how, all of a sudden now that he has a platform X and he's finished his tenure with the current administration, this whole feud is starting. And it's never started in person. Like, the old school way of things. If you had a problem with someone, you'd go to them, right? And whatever happened, if you threw down, if whatever happened, you resolved the issue and it was done. But now it's like we use technology as kind of this backwards protection to prevent us from actually demonstrating any form of like genuine humanness. And it's just, I guess maybe would you think that this is a growing weakness that will lead our society down a dangerous path, or is it something we need to rectify immediately and we need to reestablish traditional human ways of living? Like, don't go on social media and bash someone. Maybe you contact them directly, or don't, before you sell a dream to someone, just let someone know that, okay, for instance, the Drake example, just let someone know that it's a photo shoot. Don't lie. I'm not saying Drake does that. I think he has money. I'm sure he has money, but you know what I mean? But you don't have to promote a lifestyle that perhaps you're actually not living, so that you don't mislead someone down, I guess, the wrong path, if that's the right way to put it.
Yeah, and so first let me say that I agree. I believe he has money. I am not doubting that he doesn't have money. I'm just saying that that money has him standing outside at 4 a.m. with makeup on for a photo shoot for somebody to take a picture. He's not partying. He's not feeling good. He's not having a good time.
Yeah.
That's what the feeling you get. Like, so my wife and I, we went to Egypt and we was out at the pyramids and we took this picture and it's on my wall in my office and everybody's like, oh, that picture, y'all look like y'all having such a romantic time. And we're out in the cold. It was wind blowing. And I'm standing out there and I'm talking to her. I'm like, yo, what the hell we out here doing? You got me out here, sand blowing on me. So, but you looking at the picture, you like, y'all connected. I'm like, I ain't connected with her. I'm in the cold. Like, I want to leave, right? So, but but if you get sold the feeling from the image, you like, oh, now, with that being said, should things be in person? Yeah, anonymity, evil lurks in the dark. So if I could tint the windows on my car and you can't see me, then I can ride crazy because I'm like, you can't see me, right? And if I could get on the internet and it's like, hey, you go to school and you see Bob and you're like, Bob is bigger than me. He might beat my butt. Well, you're not going to say nothing to Bob. But if you online and you like, Bob, screw you, you sucker. Well, Bob don't know it's you, and Bob can't get you because you at home behind the computer. So you more emboldened to do it. So I see that as a danger because it takes that, like, you suppose, like, controversially said, but people think that anxiety is bad. Fear is bad. But I'm like, you grow through pain. You need anxiety and fear to grow. Again, why do you think we're here why do you think we exist in the world today? Because them tigers and them bears was kicking our asses. So we said, you know what? This might not be the most productive way to live. And we said, look, we could go out there and we can go kill another tiger. But we might lose somebody. I'm looking at you, Bob. and we don't want to do no more. So how about we find a way to make a weapon that we can throw at the tiger and hurt it before we go smack it with the rock. Yeah, under bunger. Okay, and there you go. We got. I mean, it sounds funny, but this is really what it is. So we just so many steps removed from that we don't even. I'm gonna make fun of myself, but I'm from DC. My family's from the South. Down south, they got farms and things. As a matter of fact, one of my uncles, he has a farm with pigs on it. Okay. And he got this good barbecue meat. And my great grandma, she would always get us that barbecue meat. I love it. Until one time she told me, go back over to your uncle's house and you go pick us some more barbecue meat. No problem, grandma. Of course. I go over there. It's pigs in the pig pen. I've seen y'all before. Make nothing of it. I get to the back of it, smoke coming out. Smell good. I don't know what's back there. That man had half a pig's cut in half.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, this is where barbecue comes from? I don't want to eat this. Oh, my stomach. Oh, well, what do you think? Well, what society enabled me to do growing up in DC is that I ate meat, and meat came in the package from the store. not from an animal. So with that being said, society and technology has allowed me to grow up my whole life with only knowing how to get meat from the grocery store. It come in the pound.
No, I hear you. And that's actually very scary to think of as how docile technology's made us. Everything, DoorDash, all sorts of like that hunter hustler instinct that has helped us survive has been completely destroyed again. So all the hard work that our ancestors and all those people that had to go through all that hardship is now going down the drain almost as if it was for nothing. So, you get those doomsday preppers, and funny enough, they're all predominantly based in the States, the ones that are preparing for the apocalypse. I mean, we've got some here, but I mean, our society is naturally doomsday anyway. So I guess people here live like it's the end of the day tomorrow. But, they always give those scenarios if something happens and all the technology and the Wi-Fi goes out and the power goes out, like how will society function? And so I know it's an out there question, but let's say fundamentally something, was to go wrong, and for a certain period of time, things aren't working. What would how do you feel that the people within your community do you think that there'll be a serious learning curve? Or do you think that while we have a lot of technology, people still do invest in actual human skills? Do you feel like maybe there isn't this doom and gloom and people are actually all sober and they realize that, look, these are conveniences that have been given to us, and if they're taken away, we'll just get on with life? Or if they're taken away, it's really the end of the world.
Uh, so I first I would say that's generational. So I don't want to say for the older generation. I'm gonna go for myself, and then the younger ones than me. I can advocate a little bit, but I'll say we're dead. So if it happened in my neighborhood, so look, let's go with the power go out.
Yeah.
If the power go out for a couple hours, my family, my son, panic, daddy, the world is ended. The power has went out. Hey, dude, you can do everything else. What is there? The world. I'm like, what you talking about, right? And me, when it gets really bad weather, our power does go out. I had a little generator. I ain't upkeep it. It's gone. One of my neighbors, one person in my neighborhood, there's 50 something houses in my neighborhood. One person has a generator. So if the power goes out, I'm going over there. I mean, we wouldn't survive. We wouldn't survive long. Like, I mean, like as soon as what we could like the fresh water we had, like you would see people like you would go to the grocery store and be like, yo, there's no toilet, like when during the pandemic, there's no toilet paper. People, we're going to die. I'm like, you're not going, you can take a hand towel and you keep washing it and you can keep using the bathroom. You're not going to die. You're not going to experience death. But the way people panic, they're like, I'm about to die tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, we man, I don't. If it go out, it's over, man. It's a wrap. I'm becoming a caveman. I'm going outside, unga booging. I'm clubbing people. So I'm not gonna wait in the middle.
Yeah,
Don't have no generator. No.
It's scary. That's scary. I mean, yeah, no. I've started taking the shift, I guess, in my life just to maybe get out more, pick up a few more hard skills that are useful. I don't think it's ever as bad as we think it'll be. I think, us humans, the gift that we really have is this innate ability just to make things happen when we have to. When there's a serious situation I don't think it ever dies. It's just hard to bring out. And so I guess that was going to lead me to the next one. So this guy's just going to be barking out there. He's doing his thing. In terms of AI and art, and this one rubs off the wrong way along a lot of people that I know, because they're artists and they work very hard at what they do. They put in the hours, they learn the skills, they understand the art form, and for a machine to just come and take all the information that is fed and spit it out, and for someone to say this is art, a lot of people don't like that. Personally, I mean, I use AI. It just makes things very, very quick and efficient. But I do understand that I don't think I would ever consider it genuine art, because that comes from whatever you want to call it, a higher power, like a higher gift that we have as human beings. And, everyone's different. Everyone has their opinions. Some people don't believe in that, and that's okay. But for the most part, do you feel that it's disingenuous to people who have put in the work and time to develop the skills, for them to now be kind of marginalized and almost outcast now because people are now using AI, which does things faster. It generates things faster, and it can, it can really do things more efficiently than perhaps us humans can.
Yeah, so let's take it back to some older technology for a second and say a photocopier. Is it art? If you didn't paint it, you didn't make it, but I can hang it up on my wall. Is it art? Technology made that, not you. So if you consider that art, you just gotta look at this being another technological switch. Now, let's look into that, dig into it. I say art is life, and life is art. Meaning, you look at the. I mean, all right, let's go. You go to the beach, you go to the water, you think you're gonna have a good time. You look at the commercial, they go to the beach, and the couple looks so happy, they're skipping, they're walking, and you ain't never felt that way a day in your life. But it's art, and art's only going to imitate life because we want to be at the beach and see that. Now, what does AI fit in there? Well, if you change how you define creating art, if you say, I'm creating art by saying, give me an image of two people and their two kids. I want a little video, and they're at the beach and they're walking. And the guy is gently holding his wife's hand, and he looks over her with love, and she's blushing red back at him because she's so happy. And the kids are joyful, jumping up and down and skipping because they're with their parents. And it spits out this image. Your words are that image. Now, if you say, I created that image without AI, I believe you're disingenuous because you're telling people who created image by hand that yours is equivalent. Those are not equivalent. I'm going to measure this one way and measure that one way. Meaning, tell the truth. I want this really created by people, but I want some of this too. Trust me, we're watching sci-fi movies that was created by a machine. So we want some of this and we want some of this. I just want to know when I'm getting this, that I'm really getting this, that is you. And when I'm getting this, I want to know that I'm getting this. So we're going to live with both. Just tell the truth. Yeah.
So I guess in a way, do you feel, how do you think artists can survive this kind of terrain? Because, unfortunately, the world is always profit first. And as much as you mentioned the sentimentality, like people appreciate the source from which something was created, but people want to pay for the simplest way to get something. And that kind of conflicts between being genuine and being, efficient. And it's in every, I'm sure in your industry and in every industry, people are always looking for a way to save money and still get something out there. So do you feel like, I guess I should ask you this, how do you think people can survive this transition? What do you think artists who don't want to portray their soul, like not their soul, but they don't want to portray the craft, how will they survive this, I guess, technological time of efficiency and production? It's a very, very shaky space for sure.
So I will say to a degree that all AI is impacting all industries in that way. So if you're a cybersecurity threat hunter, you're like, I go hunt. AI is infecting you. If you're an economist, AI is impacting you. You're an investor, AI is impacting you. So everybody, so how can they survive it? They gotta adapt. Now, what I mean by adapt, so you can still do what you're doing and figure out a way to create a market for it to be valuable. Meaning, there's a watch somewhere that somebody handcrafted that costs $1 million. They found out a way in this technological 3D machine printing way to create something that was of value that you would buy by hand. I don't have no single answer. I can tell you that if you want to do it, do it. What you want me to say? Do it. If the world's going to adapt. We have copies. There was somebody who was typing everything. Go back in the day and they was handwriting every piece. Man, if I wanted to tell the neighborhood that, like let's say, like I do one. Let's say a guy, I'm controversial, but let's say a guy cheated on a woman. Go ahead, women, get mad at me. But I'm just saying that. And she'd be like, I want to tell everybody what he did. girl, you gotta go outside and keep screaming. And you better hope my man don't know how to work the pen, because if he do, he gonna write it down and he gonna put it up on the tree and be like, yo, it's, I mean, I'm not advocating. I'm telling you, I'm just saying that we've always had to adapt, and it's always changed. So the way we communicate, the way we do things, see things, is always changing. So I can't tell you stop it, but if you have a way, a path, defined path that you can do something that's of value without giving into that, do that. Nobody's telling you no, we need it. How profitable is it going to be? How profitable are you going to make it? I mean, you sell it to the highest bidder. I mean, what do you want me to say? The joy of life is figuring that out.
Wow, no, that is true. Proper words of wisdom. Thank you for actually mentioning that. I think maybe my generation, we're not soft. I mean, actually, we are quite soft. But we tend to fall into mental traps very quickly. Like, you speak to most people my age, it's like, oh, we're done for, jobs are going to be, it's always existential. It's always some end of all crisis, things will never have opportunities again. And so maybe it is important to accept that this is what it is, and you got to figure a way through it. And so I guess in terms of how our society is moving, well, first question I actually ask is, what do you anticipate society moving towards in the next 10, 15 years from now? From this point, we have AI, and this is just the birth of it. This is this infancy. We know, I'm sure have you watched the movie 2001 Space Odyssey? It's a very old movie.
Yeah.
You saw like how that serves. So you have the context. You've got the context of what I'm saying. So where do you see our society going from now? I mean, your father, obviously, and I think every father's concern is, what will my child inherit on this earth? Obviously, you leave your legacy, you leave, the teachings and all those things. But there's also like, what legacy, what of the earth are they going to inherit? Like, what type of society, what type of people, what type of mentality, so I guess, and it's a serious question, but I think it's a deep question, because the more people speak about it, I guess the more awareness we have into the mindset that parents firstly have for their children taking on this difficult world. And also for those of people who, young people that may need that hindsight from, this is what it was before, this is where I see it going, and maybe this is what could change for it to be better, just based on your wisdom and experience.
So that's a complex way, and I say, well, the way I look at it, the way I see things, everything. For my son, I'm giving him the best tools that I know how to give him. What am I leaving him? My legacy. That's it. That's it. That I ain't giving that dude no money. I don't care how much I got. I ain't giving him nothing. Why? Because his whole life is for him to go get it. He ain't gonna have nothing else to do. That next to what kind of world? Me, a heathenistic one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say this world, everything instant. Like, if you want to get something, you don't go to the store. Like, when I was a kid back in my day, we go to the store. You want a toy, you like, I hope it's in there, and you go there and it ain't there. You're like, oh crap, you go home sad, right? Nowadays it's like, order for me on Amazon, and I'm like, no, you don't even do nothing. So the world that we're giving them is one that's enabling them to sit there and be heathenistic. And with telling them in society, do you not worry about your fellow man? We're telling them, do you, and we're telling them to worry about the future, be concerned with things. I'm gonna tell you something that's going to hopefully help you growing up as you're a young man growing older. It's only now, and I'll explain. Have you ever been 2 seconds into the past?
No, it's impossible.
Have you ever skipped 1 second? Just 1 second. Have you ever skipped one?
No.
Never skipped a second in your life. So you've only ever existed now. And by me telling you that, I took up some of your now. That means, what can I control about your future? Nothing. And you can't even control all of it, because you had no idea that I was going to use your time to tell you that. And there was nothing you could do to stop it, because when I did it, I took the time. So with that being said, you really just got to focus on now and in the direction you're going in, whatever your mission is. So you just constantly going down the path, and you live it, and be preoccupied with that mission and the people who you bring along with you.
Mm.
Other people, let them run their race. That's all they're gonna do. They on the same. I mean, everybody got something going on. So, I don't ever really think about, like what world am I leaving myself. I'm like, if you ask me holistic, I'm like, you screwed. I go through. I tell them, I'm like, you screwed because man, I don't like. Dude, I think they're gonna be dating. I think that like already, like I think that dudes gonna be dating robots, and women gonna be like, "Oh, I got me
Scary
this
stuff.
robot back.
Scary
He
stuff.
not a
Scary
man, like he
stuff.
a robot." So it's like like nah. I
Scary.
mean, I'm nah, man. I mean, I'm look. I'm not going. Look, sorry, hear me
Scary
out.
stuff. Yeah, no, I
I'm when I'm older, I'm not going over any kids' houses and touching any of their electronics. I ain't touching no kids' computer because I don't know what. Now I might go over there and see a lightsaber. It ain't no lightsaber, so I'll nah. My answer is it's all over something. Because I mean, if you look at the content they're putting out, it's geared towards just sexualizing women
Hmm.
and feminizing men.
Yeah.
Call it what you like, but
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see that as leading to the power go out and you want that dude to go hunt. What? Like, nah, son, nah, he gonna do his nails. So, like, nah, I mean, oh man, all right.
Yeah, it's a it's a shit show. Sorry for the bad. It is a shit show for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we'll survive. I pray we'll survive, actually, to be honest, because it'll be sad. It is a sad state. Sorry. It is a sad
I mean,
state. Which,
look, don't worry about it. Don't ever worry about it. I'm gonna tell you why.
mm,
Because if you die, you won't be here. And what I mean by that is I can't tell you who my great great granddaddy is. That man ain't nobody ain't talking about him no more. I'm planning to go that route. I'm gonna die one day. I'm not gonna know, so I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna die anyway. So
no, that is true. You have to live life while you have it, and you can't control the unknowns for sure. It's it's one of those things, and I guess, just having this conversation with you, it's always refreshing to know that at the end of the day, humanity is conscious. People do think deeply about things. I think when we see people doing stupid stuff on social media, or we see politicians or celebrities doing things that make absolutely no sense, we lose faith in sobriety and just people actually being normal, whatever normal is. But having this conversation with you is just it's really refreshing. It's like, it's not all bad out there. People are still living life, and I think we should all do the same. We shouldn't worry about what we can and cannot control. So I guess I was gonna ask, is there any way for people to reach out to you? I know obviously you don't do any programs or anything with anyone. You're basically here on these podcasts sharing your knowledge and insight and your truths. But if people were to maybe reach out with you and not annoy you, obviously, because giving your social media is also dangerous. People can spam you with all sorts of stuff. But are you open to people reaching out to you, contacting you? Maybe not even just in terms of what we spoke about, but in terms of work-related opportunities and stuff. Is there a handle or something that you'd like to drop? And the question after that is, what are your words of wisdom for those that's tuning in today?
so I will say for contacting me, csai.pro. LinkedIn, Kelvin Green of Cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity consultant, advisor, so I can help you to get this cybersecurity to meet your goals. Now, with that being said, personally, I ain't on no social media, so don't try to talk to me there because you're gonna be talking to somebody else because it ain't me. So other than that, wise words. I give you three things: perception, how you perceive things, in perspective. You said, you went in this conversation to refreshing to know that, that there's humanity, there's people out there doing something. That's based on three things. That's your perception, how you perceive things, in perspective. Perception is what you see, smell, hear, etc. Right? You touch. You use that to learn the world. You touch some fire, you're like, it's hot. Don't touch it anymore. You saw, you like, don't touch it anymore. But when you touch something else that's hot that doesn't look like fire, you got to learn again. Like, don't touch that. You start to perceive all those things and it builds your perspective. That's why when you see fire, you're like, I ain't going over there because it's going to be hot. You're gonna see a forest fire and not go in it because you know, even though you've never been in one, that fire is hot. How your perspective. Now, everybody had different perspectives. So you mentioned things about like, things going on in politics. Just saying our nation, we got people with different perspectives. And that's because where they were born, the information they got, the TV shows, and everything they learned, it shaped their perspective. They're not bad people. None of these people are bad. As a matter of fact, all people, I believe, everybody on this earth is not bad. What I believe is that they're all given information and experiences, and they're all given dreams. And based on the information and experiences that they got, they're going to use whatever they think is the best method to get that dream. So when they robbed that bank, that was the best thing they could think of. I ain't condoning it, by the way. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you that's the best thing that they thought of. So, I will tell people, if you want to change, look at the people who have the outcomes you want, then look at their perspectives on things and figure out how to change how you perceive the world so that you get the outcomes that they got based on that perspective. So if you want so-and-so's riches, do like so-and-so.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I will drop your contact details in the link in the description of the video. Kelvin, it's been it's an absolute pleasure. I didn't think I was going to laugh this much today, after work. You're thinking, podcasts, I need to keep myself energized and ready, but you brought the energy and the enthusiasm and a lot of wisdom. Yes, we laughed and we joked, but this talk is about to annoy me. But I'm gonna go sort them out afterwards. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say thank you for coming onto the show. Definitely keep in touch. Wishing you a blessed rest of the 2025 as well, and it'll be good to see where the world goes. I mean, every day is just a new level of, madness, craziness. You call it what you want. So we'll see what the next few months hold, and the next while for that matter.
Well, how about we do this, man? How about we make it so that once a year, me and you get on and we do a podcast and we talk about what changed in technology for this year. So we'll do one annually to say, you got that.
100% down for that, for sure, brother. And yeah, I'm gonna go sort this creature out outside. Yeah, pit bulls are a handful, guys. Just letting you know. But no, thank you so much, Kelvin. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Likewise, thank you. Thank you for following.